Welcome to NFL Focus. Niners Nation, we need to have a real conversation today. Not a comfortable one, not a hype video, but a real, honest, eyes wide open conversation about where this franchise stands, what it has right in front of it, and why the next 2 years represent perhaps the most important window in San Francisco 49ers football since the Steve Young era. Because Trent Williams stood in front of the Bay Area media, looked reporters right in the eye, and told them the absolute truth. The 2-year, $50 million extension he signed is almost certainly the final contract of his legendary NFL career. Once you truly absorb that statement, once you let it fully land, the urgency of everything happening at OTAs right now takes on a completely different weight. Let us start with Trent Williams, because you simply cannot have this conversation without him at the absolute center of it. He is 37 years old. He will turn 38 next month. He has been battling in the National Football League since 2010. That is 16 years of playing the most physically demanding, punishing position on the offensive side of the football. Think about this. He has a daughter who was born 3 months before he was drafted, and she is turning 17 this year. He has been playing professional football her entire life. He has been away, traveling, practicing, rehabbing, and competing for 17 straight years, watching his daughter grow up through phone screens and brief visits between games. When a reporter asked him point blank whether he thought this extension was the last contract he would sign, Williams said, "Yeah, probably." And when asked what it felt like to put pen to paper on what might be his final NFL deal, his response was profound. "It is scary. I am toying between the idea of going until I cannot anymore and just leaving while I have still got some good product left and not getting run out of the league. Scary." That is the exact word a 12-time Pro Bowler and future first ballot Hall of Famer used to describe signing what is likely his final contract. Not relieved, not at peace. Scary. Because Trent Williams is still competing at an elite level, and yet the finality of it all is real, and it is right there in front of him. But he also said something else that should be written on the wall of every single film room in Santa Clara. He said he hopes this season is not about showing how resilient this team is. He has had enough of resilience. He wants to show how dominant they can be, how dominant they should be with the off-season moves they have made. Williams believes this team has the pieces to stop being the team that fights back from adversity and start being the team that never creates the adversity in the first place. He is not here to just survive this season. He is here to win it all, and he is doing it knowing the clock is ticking in a way he can now actually hear. When you pause and look at the full roster context for a moment, it becomes genuinely clarifying. Christian McCaffrey turns 30 this month. Fred Warner turns 31 in November. Nick Bosa turned 29 in October. George Kittle is 33 in October and coming off surgery. Dre Greenlaw is battling back from a torn Achilles that kept him out of the Super Bowl the 49ers did not quite win. Mike Evans is 32 and on a 1-year deal. This current core in its current form has approximately 2 years left at full strength. 2 years, and their division rivals, the Los Angeles Rams, are operating with that exact same 2-year urgency. They just traded for Myles Garrett to strengthen their own championship push, building everything around Matthew Stafford before a window that closes. These moves represent the beginning of the answer to the essential question every 49ers fan should be asking. Who is going to be on this team in 2028 when Trent Williams is gone, Christian McCaffrey is winding down, and the generational core of this franchise is transitioned? That answer is starting to take shape at OTAs, and the shape it is taking is genuinely encouraging. Let us start with Osa Odighizuwa. The defensive tackle traded from the Dallas Cowboys this offseason in exchange for a third-round pick is one of the quietest, potential game-changing additions any NFC contender has made this spring. Think about the context here. The 49ers finished last in the entire NFL in sacks last year with just 20 total. Their defensive tackle room generated exactly 4 sacks all season. For sacks from the interior defensive line. That is a disqualifying number for a team with Super Bowl aspirations, and it was one of the primary reasons San Francisco's defense was exploitable in the ways that cost them games in close contests. Osa Odighizuwa fixes that problem. He has been one of the most productive interior pass rushers in football by pressure rate over the last 3 seasons. What is remarkable about OTAs this spring is how directly the team has responded to that urgency. Not just with words, but with roster decisions, with the additions they have made, and with the players who are turning heads right now at the SAP Performance Facility in Santa Clara. These moves represent the beginning of the answer to the essential question every 49ers fan should be asking. Who is going to be on this team in 2028 when Trent Williams is gone, Christian McCaffrey is winding down, and the generational core of this franchise has transitioned? That answer is starting to take shape at OTAs. And the shape it is taking is genuinely encouraging. Let us start with Osa Odighizuwa. The defensive tackle traded from the Dallas Cowboys this offseason in exchange for a third-round pick is one of the quietest, potential game-changing additions any NFC contender has made this spring. Think about the context here. The 49ers finished last in the entire NFL in sacks last year with just 20 total. Their defensive tackle room generated exactly 4 sacks all season. For sacks from the interior defensive line. That is a disqualifying number for a team with Super Bowl aspirations, and it was one of the primary reasons San Francisco's defense was exploitable in the ways that cost them games in close contests. Osa Odighizuwa fixes that problem. He has been one of the most productive interior pass rushers in football by pressure rate over the last 3 seasons. Regardless of the fact that he has not always converted those pressures into massive sack totals, he gets to the quarterback. He disrupts timing. He collapses pockets from the inside, which is what opens up opportunities for Nick Bosa to win on the outside without needing to face double teams on every single snap. Kyle Shanahan himself was practically buzzing about Odighizuwa at the media availability. He said he has been extremely impressed with him since the day he arrived. He mentioned that everyone from Dallas told them what kind of person and player they were getting, and that Osa has matched every single expectation. He even called him one of the best leaders on the team already. Think about that. This is a man who has been with the 49ers for roughly 12 weeks. With a young defensive tackle room around him, including Sebastian Valdez in year 2, Alfred Collins, C.J. West, and rookie 4th-rounder Grayson Holden, Odighizuwa's veteran presence is doing exactly what Chris Kukurek, arguably the best defensive line coach in the entire league, needs it to do. He is modeling the standard. He is showing the young players what elite work ethic looks like. He has missed only 1 game in 5 NFL seasons. That availability matters. That reliability matters. A front consisting of Osa Odighizuwa, Michael Purrier, Alfred Collins, and C.J. West, if they can all stay healthy, is a legitimate defensive front. It is not completely dominant yet, but it is a legitimate one for the first time in a couple of years. Before we dive into the rookies who are set to carry this team into the future, I want to take a quick moment to ask for your support. We put an incredible amount of hard work, late nights, and deep dedication into producing these mini documentaries for you. Our goal is always to bring you the most honest and insightful coverage of the team we all love. We are pushing hard to grow this channel, and truly every single subscription equals a massive wave of motivation for us to keep creating content like this. If you are enjoying this deep dive, please take a second to hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, share this video with your fellow Niners fans, and leave a comment below. It helps our community grow immensely, and we appreciate every single one of you. Now let's talk about the pieces that are going to matter most beyond this 2-year window. The players who are going to carry this franchise into the 2028 era and beyond. This is where the OTA reports get really interesting because 2 specific rookies have been making enough noise that both Shanahan and the position coaches have started going out of their way to talk about them in unusual detail. First, let's look at Kalen Black, the 3rd-round pick running back out of Indiana. Shanahan was asked about Black in the context of OTAs. This is Shanahan we are talking about, the man who evaluates running backs for a living, who traded for Christian McCaffrey, who has developed Jordan Mason and Elijah Mitchell and every other back he has gotten his hands on. He said he sees a guy who can be developed in the passing game on top of already being the most dynamic runner in that room. He compared his trajectory specifically to Mason and Mitchell, both of whom came in as pure runners and developed into genuine pass catchers within the Shanahan system. Then Shanahan dropped a detail that tells you everything you need to know about Black's commitment to the work. The man squats 500 pounds. He benches 415. He is a running back built like a power forward, and he is using that strength to be exactly what this offense has been missing. A back who picks up yards after contact. A back who hits singles and turns them into doubles. A guy who keeps his legs churning when any other back would have been driven straight to the ground. His number from Indiana last season was over 3 yards after contact per carry. That is the exact metric that makes a Shanahan offense devastating, because it means the defense cannot just set the edge and expect to win the run game by making a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Black is the physical threat this offense has not fully had since McCaffrey was completely healthy. And then there is Deion Stribling, the first pick of the draft for the 49ers, 33rd overall, the wide receiver out of Mississippi. He is arguably the most important young player in terms of what this offense needs to become by 2028. Stribling dominated OTAs right from the jump. He put up back-to-back deep, explosive plays on post routes against Raheem Morris's defense, with one of them going for a spectacular touchdown. Raheem Morris, the defensive coordinator whose entire job is to stop wide receivers just like Stribling, admitted that the young wideout keeps getting better and better every single day. At 6'2", he is fast enough to threaten any cornerback in the league vertically, and he is a good enough blocker to play through running plays without being a liability. This is the exact type of wide receiver the 49ers have been unable to develop since, frankly, Deebo Samuel carved out his own very specific role. The need for a true vertical threat on this offense has been obvious and unaddressed for 2 years, and Stribling looks like the definitive answer. There's a broader point here about why hitting on these draft picks matters so much right now, well beyond just this upcoming season. Think back to the Myles Garrett trade. The Rams were able to trade Jared Verse, a first-round pick and a young, ascending player on a cost-controlled rookie deal, as the centerpiece of a blockbuster acquisition precisely because they hit on that draft selection. Do the 49ers have a player like that right now? A young, ascending, cost-controlled asset valuable enough to be a premium trade chip for a player of Garrett's caliber? Honestly, no. That is the direct result of a draft hit rate that has been inconsistent at best over the last several classes. But Stribling, Black, and Romello Height, the 3rd-round edge rusher out of Texas Tech, who has been drawing early rave reviews from Chris Kukurek for his explosive get-off and natural pass rush ability, represent the beginning of building those kinds of chips. They are players on rookie deals producing at a starter level, giving the organization the ultimate leverage to operate in the aggressive trade market when the right opportunity arises. The KJ Wright angle is also worth a quick mention, because it is the quietly important background story of this defense's long-term future. Wright, who was part of those legendary legion of boom defenses in Seattle as a player, has been rising incredibly fast as a coach and is now the 49ers linebackers coach. He believes emphatically and publicly that rookie linebacker Jaden Duggar has the athletic profile to be the next iteration of the 49ers' legendary linebacker development pipeline. This is the exact same pipeline that produced Fred Warner from a third-round pick, Dre Greenlaw from a fifth-round pick, and Azeez Al-Shaair from an undrafted free agent contract. Duggar is a converted defensive back with an 80-inch wingspan and the kind of sideline-to-sideline athleticism that Wright said sold him immediately within the first 15 plays of watching Duggar's college tape. If this organization can develop another linebacker the way they developed Warner, and we know the institutional knowledge to do it is absolutely in that building, then the 2028 defense is going to be a whole lot better than anyone outside of Santa Clara is currently projecting. The 49ers have a definitive 2-year window. Trent Williams told them that himself. The Rams told them with the blockbuster Garrett trade. The schedule told them with 38,000 miles of grueling travel ahead. Everything is pointing in the exact same direction. Win right now, while simultaneously building the future pieces that keep winning possible after this current window ends. OTAs are showing that the organization fully understands the assignment on both fronts. The veteran core is highly motivated and ready to strike. The young players are turning heads and stepping up, and the one man who anchors it all, the scary, incredible, irreplaceable Trent Williams, is out there at practice giving pointers to rookie tackle Enrique Cruz, passing the knowledge down and building the bridge to whatever comes next. He said he hopes this season shows how dominant this team can be. We believe him, and we absolutely cannot wait to see it unfold. Go Niners! If you are not subscribed to NFL Focus yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button right now. Smash the like button and drop a comment below with your answer to the most important question in San Francisco today. Are the 49ers going to make the most of this intense 2-year window, or does the fierce NFC West arms race with the Rams and Seahawks close the door before it can even be open? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because we want to hear directly from Niners Nation. Subscribe, leave a review, and we will see you on the next one.